Swami Ashwati Namaste. Or before studying the construction of a house, we bow to Ganapati, Ganesha. Ganesha or Ganapati is a very popular deity in India. People love him like anything. It is very curious actually, because he has the head of an elephant, but still people consider Ganapati as a baby sometimes. He is very popular among children also. In northern India, people just adore him. There are a lot of millions of devotees for him throughout the world. What is this Ganapati? Why should we pray to him? What is his peculiarity? Why it is important that you evoke Ganapati before starting any serious work? Let us probe into it. Ganapati is the deity. In Sanskrit, it is called a Devata. In Malayalam also we say he is a Devata. And then the question arises, then isn't he God? Yes, he is God. Then you said he is a Devata. Yes, he is a Devata too. What's the difference? Many people mistake these things. Two entities. They are not different, but they are different when we approach them. God, the ultimate, right? He is a creator, preserver and destroyer. And he is the creator of the whole universe. The non-living and the living, everything. That's God. He is the germinator, he is the organizer, and he is the destroyer. G-O-D. Srashta, Sthiti, and Samharam. These three things are done by God. That's called Devam or Ishwara. Then what's a deity? A Devata. Devata is the ultimate vision of God that we can see from our body, mind, intellect continuum. We have got three things. The body, we have got the mind, we have got the intellect. Of course, we have got the five senses also, but they are the doors through which the information and everything comes to our mind. So we are the sum total of our body, time, intellect and mind. With these three, we understand things. That's a limitation. Our eyes are limited, our ears are limited, our sense of touch is limited, our sense of smell is limited, our mind is again limited. We can't think of anything and everything. Our intellect is also limited. Then you may be asking in your mind, is our intellect limited? Yes. Our intellect is limited by time and space. We can't understand certain things. Our intellect refuses to understand certain things. For example, when we go into the micro level of things, when we follow an electron, it is matter as well as energy at the same time. It is something that our intellect can't comprehend. Because we know that matter needs space to exist. It has got weight. That's why we call it matter. Energy, it doesn't need space to exist. It doesn't have weight. But Albert Einstein proved that E is equal to mc squared. That means an electron is a wave packet as well as a particle. It is something our intellect refuses to understand. How can a thing exist without weight and with weight at the same time? How can a thing exist with a limitation of space and at the same time unlimited space? There's no limitation of space in it. So it is something our intellect can't understand. When this theory of relativity was placed before the august audience of the Royal Club for the first time, the president of the Royal Club said that it will take years for us to understand what this is. But mathematically, it is absolutely true. And later, it was proved that physically also it is true. We exist in time. That's a dimension. So we can't think without the touch of time in us. That's a limitation. So our intellect is limited, mind is limited, the senses are limited, the body is limited, our imagination is limited. Yes, you can't imagine everything. For example, you can't imagine a color which has nothing to do with the colors that we know. We know many colors, the red, the green, the white and all this. Can you imagine something, some color which has nothing to do with all these colors, entirely different from all these colors? No, you can't imagine. So, your body, mind, intellect, personality is completely limited. So, you can't see Devam because it is beyond our imagination, it is beyond our senses, beyond our understanding. But you can see the deity. You can see God as Ganesha, you can see God as Shiva, you can see God as Devi, you can see God as Krishna, whatever that is. Oh, you can see God as Christ. But beyond that, it is Brahma. And Brahma manifests. It manifests as Devata. So, Devata is not different from Devam, but Devata is something that we can understand standing in our own shoes, in our limitations. I will give an example. Suppose I am taking you to a beach. Say, I am taking you to Shangumukham beach. That's a very famous beach. Or Kovalam beach. I am pointing out to the sea and say, you see, this is Arabian Sea. And you see the magnificent sea. And then you ask this question, oh, this is Arabian Sea. Yes, this is Arabian Sea, but don't think that what you see is a full vision of the Arabian Sea. It is larger than you can ever imagine. It is deeper and it is something beyond our eyes. But I see Arabian Sea in the limitedness of myself. Like that, a deity is something, a vision which is limited, something that helps us, something that shows mercy to us, something which gives us very positive things when we pray and all these things. That is deity. I pray to Krishna, I pray to Rama, I pray to Devi, I pray to Shiva, I pray to Ganapati. They are deities. The sight you have from Shangumukham beach. But the real Arabian Sea is something you can't conceive, you can't understand. Unless you rise up in a plane, even then it is beyond our comprehension. Like that, Ganapati is a deity. He is the deity of positivity. That's why we do puja to Ganapati before we start any new project. Because positivity is the trump card for you. If you are a positive thinker, a person who sees things positively, a person who conceives things through a positive mind, then you are going to become a great success in life. And suppose it is just opposite, then you are going to be totally negative and an absolute failure. Something that has proved beyond doubt. A positive person wins, a negative person doesn't win. So, Ganapati is a deity of positivity. He is the head of the Devas. He is a Sarva Sainathiva, or he is a general of the Devas. And Devas are the positive things, positive feelings, positive emotions, positive way of approach. That's Deva's contribution. And Asura's contribution is a negativity, negative approach, negative way of seeing things, always making negative comments. And all these are Asuras. And Ganapati is the head of the Devas, and he protects your mind from the attack of the negatives. That's why Ganapati is important. Then why he has an elephant face, and he has a rat to travel, he has a trunk, and just like an elephant. And he eats a lot of modagams and all this. Why it is so? They are all wonderfully woven out ideas. When you understand the real meaning of all these things, then you become a real devotee of Ganapati. And that gives you power, that makes you positive. The mantra is Om Gam Ganapataye Nama. That's the Mula mantra. When you chant Mula mantra, Om Gam Ganapataye Nama, Om Gam Ganapataye Nama, your mind becomes positive. Your mind becomes strong. You become a person of attitude. And definitely you win in life. So, we will go on the details of Ganapati in another session. But now, let us start with a prayer to Ganapati, so that all this negativity in our mind will be thrown out of our mind, and the positive elements will come and stay in our mind. When your mind is full of devas, you are living in a Swarga. And when your mind is full of Asuras, you are living in a hell. So what do you want? Do you want to live in Swarga, or do you want to live in Naraga? That's your decision. The whole life is at your discretion. You can order, you can create thyself. You are a creator of yourself. You can be positive, you can be negative. When you think of negative things will happen to you. When you think of positive things will happen to you. So, the deity or the aspect of God's creation which makes everything positive is Ganapati, the deity. When the great rishis went into deep meditation and started thinking of the source of all this positivity in this world, the positivity in evolution, the positivity in creation, the positivity in the human mind, then the vision of Ganapati came to them. Even now, when we search deep into our mind to understand the source of positivity, then Ganapati's picture, Ganapati's three-dimensional picture appears in our deep meditation. That's why this is called Sanatana Dharma. Nothing is changeable. Nothing will change. So, let's start with Ganapati. And in the next class, in the next session, we will see why he has these odd features and why people love him, why you should be a Ganapati devotee if you want to become successful in life. So, we will go to him and pray to him in the next class. Namaste.